So your struggle determines your, what the fuck was it called? Personality. Yeah, your struggle determines your personal strengths, right? What I'm saying is, if you are a carpenter, you're gonna smash your fucking fingers with your hammer one day. Even worse, you're gonna cut yourself one day. Even worse than that, you might get yourself with a nail gun one day. You're gonna get fucked up. And when you do, how you respond to that says a lot about your character. Like, I remember getting cut and fucking hurt, and I'm still working because I wanted to get the job done, and at the time the pain was irrelevant because I don't focus on what's going on to me. I focus on the job that I'm involved in. So the job that I'm involved in right now is, one, I gotta preach the truth, right? I gotta preach this truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I gotta tell these Israelites that they're Israelites. And that part right there is fucking hard. Because the first thing they tell you is Esau. You gotta know who Esau is. And if Esau's a white man, then all the white people in the world are Esau, Edomites. Well, that's not very true. Because there's such a thing as deep understanding. And if you don't have deep understanding, you're never gonna get it. What the hell? What was that? Anyways, felt like somebody touched me on top of my head. Anyways, but like I was saying, your struggle determines your outcome. So and I can tell a lot about if a kid comes up to me and says, I want to be a boxer, I want to be a boxer, I want to be a boxer, but they never trained, I know that they're just talking a bunch of stuff. But if I tell them, look, I train boxing and it's fucking hard, it's very disciplined, you gotta stop being a YN. First thing you gotta do is train, and you're not gonna like how you feel if you're eating bad. So that's the second thing you gotta do. But the first thing is always the one that nobody ever gets past, because training is hard. You gotta learn the basics, and you might think you know the basics because you've gotten a couple of street fights, you knock big dudes out, you're fast or whatever, but there's levels to fighting. There is levels to fighting. I remember, God bless this man too. His name is Chuck. He's a Vietnam vet. Him and his brother owned a martial arts school. Harong Do School was an art. And Harong Do originally was for military application. The first martial arts were invented for peasants to defend themselves against soldiers. That's it. Trust me. That's the fucking bottom line. So if you can only imagine, I think I was like 4 or 5, and I told my dad, I want to fucking fight. And he knew this man, and this man had a dojo. But the rule of the time was I had to be a grown man. I had to make the decision to choose to and this martial arts is meant for you to defend your country. So, so I chose yes, but I was only 4. And he was like, I can't teach you, this is not allowed. Only men can, like grown men. But the first day I went, they put me through the paces. I learned all the kicks and I learned techniques, fucking basic stuff, but I was like 4. That's when I started. And then he said, keep practicing this and then come back to me. And when I was 20, I found him. I went out with his niece, so the Lord kept us close to each other. And these 2 brothers taught me a whole fucking bunch of shit. Like, hey, if you want to boost your fucking confidence, learn an ancient martial art. But not that bullshit shit. And I will tell you why. So after a few years of rigorous training, broken bones, such and such, getting beat the fuck up, mostly, learning how to take an ass whipping, mostly, this old Marine would have fun because he was a correctional officer. He would bring big giant correctional officers, police officers, I remember them too, and other black belts. And then he would call me. And he would say stuff like, oh, this guy thinks he's this or that. He wants to learn. And I would be like, oh, okay, I'm kind of nervous. My frame was a little smaller. I didn't have the confidence I have now. But Chuck knew what I could do. And then he would make us spar. He would make us spar, and I'd be nervous. The dude's fucking 6'3", 220. I'm 5'8", barely 140. But I would fuck those dudes up. They would be afraid of me. And that's how you learn to get respect. So Abraham got respect from Melchizedek because of his valor. So all these things that I'm suffering at home, I'm like, this is terrible. This is pretty bad. This is nothing compared to 1, what Yahushua suffered. 2, what my ancestors suffered. 3, it'll be worse if I leave. So I just stay. So I had to learn to be patient through adversity. You know, I think people get it. You have to suffer. I think you get it. You have to suffer to get what you want. You want to be a dentist? You got to go to dentist school. You want to be a fighter? You got to go to fighting school. You want to be a wrestler? You got to go to wrestling school. You want to be a tennis player? You got to go to tennis school. Even these damn mother-loving queers, these Christians, they go to Christian school. But Jake is the only one that can't be taught. Because people are assigned roles. Some people get the role of being a 2/3. Some people get the role of living a luxurious life. Some people get the role of being broke, fucking broke, poor. Some people get the role of being in between. And you can hear it when people talk. They'll say, I've been stuck in a rut for a minute. I've been stuck in this rut for a minute. Yeah. So, you're assigned a role. And the role right now is just long suffer, and suffer.